Okay, so welcome to another video. This is Kevin, also known as AKAAWOL. And today I am back to working on my bag for my traveler's notebook. And what we're coming down to is some very short strings. So I'm going to have to add some here. Let's bring this part out. It's at this point it's the black string that is the absolute shortest, with this dark red being the second shortest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring this down and try to add the strings down in this area over in here. My hope in today's video is to show you what to do when you're making something so big that you're going to have to add strings. Occasionally you might even run into a pattern where you were making a bracelet and then you ran out. Unfortunately, not everybody uses strings that have been doubled up, and this is a huge advantage when you're trying to add the strings, because the way that I add the strings, it allows it to become a lot more, I want to say stable, but I bet you there's a better word for that. Secure? Yeah, it makes the string that you're adding more secure, less likely to get pulled out while you're trying to tie the knots, because you can loop it around the string where you're tying the knot, where you're actually making the change. So we'll get to that in just a moment here. Alright, so as you can see, I am just going along like I would absolutely normally do. Nothing too different. You can see though, these black strings are really short. This is no good. And this is oftentimes a little bit discouraging for me. I don't enjoy adding string. It takes more time. It takes some of the rhythm of tying knots out. So I have to get myself pretty psyched up for this. And I think I kind of am right now. It's looking so good, and I'm really looking forward to putting it into practice. So this is basically meant to go with me everywhere I go. If somebody asks what I do, I can be like, I make stuff. So very, very excited about that. As you can tell, this pattern here lends itself really well to not having to have a piece of paper nearby. I just carried that string all the way to the end. I take this one down to where that same color is, and I am golden. So on this particular row that I'm working in, this area, I will have to add the black and the darkest red. As I proceed a little bit further down, it's likely to be, the next ones will be this shade of red and then the darker shade of gray. And that's just the nature of this. If you look at the pattern overall, you'll see that it is heavy on the outer colors, and then the next one in and the next one in. And that's kind of nice for when you're doing a big bag like project, because that means you are what did you do? Oh, there's a button in the back. Yeah. My wife is operating the camera, so say hello, Mandy.
Hello.
We have a gimbal here, and we're still trying to get used to this thing, but we thought that would help make this video a little more stable and give you a little closer perspective as to what I'm doing. So yeah, special thanks to Mandy today for working the camera. This is it's not easy. Woo! Okay, almost pulled that one wrongly. So I'm working myself into a diamond. I perhaps should have done this before I started the video. I hadn't really thought about it, but it gives you a chance to kind of see how this thing progresses along, so I don't mind. So currently, it seems that everybody's under some kind of form of quarantine. I typically don't date my videos this way, but might as well talk about it a bit. If you're stuck at home and you got nothing better to do, I say this is a great way to have something to keep your mind active, to keep your hands busy, to keep you from absolutely going stir crazy. So now might be the perfect time to get you guys making bags. Or even if you're just making bracelets, I suppose. At least at the end of the whole thing, when you see those friends that you've been missing for so long, you'll have something nice you can give them and say, hey, was thinking of you. So beats the heck out of raiding the refrigerator every 5 minutes, because, you know, I hear that's a thing. Not me. I'm being good. Because my wife would probably beat me up, so. Anyway, we are almost to the center. This is good. Of course, my video is running longer than I imagined it was going to be. I thought this was going to be like a quick 5-minute video. I have no idea where we're up to yet, but I can see it's going to be obviously longer than that. Probably going to have to put one of those links in the comments to where to jump ahead to where I actually add the string, because I imagine that's what some people come for, is a specific lesson and not just to hear me ramble on. But if you're here and you're still watching this, thank you. I appreciate it. It helps me with the number of watched hours. So I guess YouTube monitors all these things, and if they think that people like what they see, they will introduce me to new people, and that would help me out a lot. So thank you, the viewer, who's still here. All right, this one will come in, and then we can concentrate over on that other side. So as you can see, I'm working off of an easel. This is making my life a whole lot easier, as it will keep the board in place. It's not necessary if you have a clipboard and you put it on your lap and you sit up to a table or something, you can still have good posture. But the easel adds one extra thing. I don't have to worry about it moving around much. So this one is huge. This is my great big easel. I got it about a year ago or more for, I think my wife got it for Christmas or my birthday or something nice. But it has proven to be incredibly useful for me. I have a spot where I can put my phone so I can monitor notifications. It's got a drawer for my little scissors, which I don't think the wife can actually see much of, but it's incredibly useful. Okay, so here's that poor little black string, and you can see the red is longer, but it's camera's gone wild. Okay, so at this point we definitely have to add the black. It's just getting too short to really work with. So here's what I will do. I'm going to tie the two of them together, so that way I don't have to do them both at the same time. Then sort out my strings here. I'm going to do half of my knotting, and then I'm going to come over. I got a little little box of string already all nice and cut up. Unravel this, and I'll put these two ends together, and that way I can find the middle here. And I take this loop and I pull this string through it, and I put this off into the direction that it's going to. I tie the second part of this knot, and then I tie the next one with the long string. I tie half of it, and then I take this one and I put it with the one that I'm about to bury, and now this knot is coming back because it's part of a diamond. And now the short black becomes part of this gray, and now I have my new long black that will continue on for the rest of it. I'll do it again with the other side. I do the halfway. Get my other string. Put the ends together. Come all the way down to the end. Come up over top of that gray that we were tying this black to. Finish tying the knot. Pick up the next string and tie the long one to it. Just the halfway before adding in the short one, and then tying the rest of the knot. Now I can tie this little diamondy gray from the center. You can see these are getting shorter. They're not quite there yet, but they'll be changed out soon enough. And now I have a nice long black one here to work with. And do the other side as well. And as you can see, that part is done. Now, those where that dark gray and that black is, they will get knotted as if it's one set. I do it several times. Sometimes I'll lose count as to how many times I do it, but I'm just going to knot over the pair as if it wasn't even a thing. And I do that 3, maybe 4 times at least before I cut off the black, and that will help assure that there's no possible way that this can work itself loose and come unraveled and end up being a problem for the person who owns the bag later on. In this case, it'll be mine, but that's how I assure that that's never going to come loose. And then eventually it gets cut off in the back, and as you can see, you can't even tell that there's a difference happening there. So that's how I add the string. That's what I'm going to be working on for the next, I don't know, week or more, and I'll give you an update when I get to where I'm going to start finishing off this bag. So until then, don't get your strings in a bunch. Thanks for watching.